Hello, and welcome to problem set 108. Today we're going to talk about vectors, specifically breaking them apart, converting from polar to rectangular form. It should be a blast. So we're going to draw vector v with a position of -4, 2. So first coordinate is the x coordinate, so I'll go back 4 in x and up 2 in y. A vector is a quantity that has a direction and a magnitude. So the direction is that direction and the magnitude is however far along this vector it goes. So how do I find the magnitude of the vector v that we just talked about? Well, we'll write magnitude of v like that, and you simply use the Pythagorean theorem. So it's the square root of -4 squared plus 2 squared, which is the square root of 16 plus 4, which is 2 square root of 5, or the square root of 20. Simple enough. Now we move on to more complicated tasks, like adding vectors. So how do we add a vector? Well, we have to get it into rectangular form like this. Then we add the components. So let vector v be -4, 2, and vector v2 be 7, 3. Now we're going to add v1 plus v2. Simply add the x coordinates, so that would be 3, and 2 plus 3 is 5. And you're done. If it's in polar form, you have to convert it into rectangular form first in order to add the vectors. How do you subtract vectors? Well, simply subtract each term. So when we talk about unit vectors, that is a vector with length 1. So we only care about the direction. So, two unit vectors that we're particularly familiar with are the I hat vector, which goes in the x direction for the distance of 1, and the j hat vector, which goes in the y direction with direction 1. So, we can write out our vectors in terms of I hat and j hat. Simple enough. Now, if we want to draw a normal vector. So they want us to draw a vector that is normal to -4, 5. The idea is this. If it's going to be normal, and this vector points in this direction, -4, 5, then I'm going to need the perpendicular slope. So we kind of think about this in terms of lines. The slope here would be 5 over -4, so the perpendicular slope would be the negative reciprocal, or 4/5. 4 corresponds with the rise, so that would be our y value, and 5 corresponds to the run. So this, vector 5, 4, would be perpendicular to the vector -4, 5. And that, my friends, is problem set 108.